Okay, we are live. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
I
Hello,
am
hello.
Mystic Rayne,
And I am Amethyst Wonderspell.
and we are the two of us here for an enchanted evening under the stars.
There we go.
Um,
Yep.
we will give it a minute for people to join us. Hopefully, I know this time change is really messing people up.
Yeah, it's messing me up, and messing my dogs up. They're driving me nuts. They get me up. I'm getting up at 5:30 and I'm feeding them at 7 in the morning instead of 8. I know because Asa will not give it up. And I'm trying to but I can't ignore. He's his
Yeah,
bark, and I can't. I'm 10 minutes into it, and I just want to pick him up and and I'm like, fine, I'll feed you.
it's just fine. Just stop barking.
Just stop.
Yes.
I don't care. Just yeah, really. You'll eat early. Yeah,
Yeah, it
it's
literally was yeah, I had to turn my office light on at like
I
4:30
know that's the
today.
thing I don't like. It's 5:30. It's pitch black.
Yep, yep. And for me, it's like that's just I'm ready. It's like, oh, it's dark. It's time to get in my jammies, you know.
I know.
Yeah,
Like, oh, I'm tired. It's only 6
yeah,
o'clock.
exactly. But my morning clock is still on regular time, so I'm waking up an hour earlier every morning
Yeah,
because of
I
that. So
yeah. I do like waking up with the sun. I don't like waking up when it's dark. So I do
yeah.
like, that aspect, but
Well, I just get up later, so
yeah, there you go. I don't have that option.
Yeah, that's true. Well, yeah.
My dogs are programmed. They want up and they want go out and get fed. Hi,
See,
Facebook
mine
user.
are really lazy dogs. Like
I
even
wish
my
my
wiener
Teddy
dog,
is. Teddy's lazy, but the other three aren't.
as long as Pebbles is under the covers with me,
Hmm.
and she's
That's how
warm,
Teddy.
she does not get up until I get up, unless she really, really, for some reason, has to go out really bad.
Ray has to
She,
do.
yeah, she will not get up,
Like,
and
yeah, you guys have it. I'm good. Just
yeah,
covers back up.
yeah, and the husky lays, if she's not at the end of the bed, she's right outside the door. So, they're just real patient. They don't wake us up. I'm
I
not
love
sure
them.
who Facebook user is. So, you guys
Yeah,
know how Facebook or how StreamYard is not sometimes not letting us know who you are.
right.
Um,
Right. Yeah, and you all will notice there's only two of us, and we are definitely changing the name. We're no longer the Three of Cups. Leanne has this time of year, she really likes to be more home and with her community. She doesn't have a lot of time for shows, and she's pursuing some other things, but she definitely sends her love and her respect to Miss Mystic and to myself and to all the viewers. So,
well, hello,
hello,
Shelley.
Shelly.
It looks like they are not going to let us see who anyone is tonight because another
Yeah.
Facebook user, hello,
That's Linda.
um,
I recognize Linda's little thing there. Hi, Linda.
yeah, nobody is going to be
Huh.
able to know
Yeah.
who anybody is. It's a big
Good.
secret tonight.
Yeah. Well, that's okay.
Um, well, yes, of course, we will miss her.
Yeah.
We will miss her.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You're stuck with us.
Yeah, you have us. We'll try to fill the void, but
Yeah, we will. I'm Sirius Black. If we need to, we'll throw him in
there
that
you go.
chair.
Perfect. Yeah, throw him in a chair, have him have his own little spot.
Yep, he'll just sit there and look all handsome
Ain't
and
licking
yeah, it'll be great.
himself.
He'll be
Yeah.
before long you won't even notice. It'll be like, "Oh my god, that cat is so amazing."
Right. Who are those two broads? They don't even need them.
Yeah, we're here for the cat. He's going to have his own Facebook page.
I have
It's going
seen
to be
that.
crazy. All right. So, how have you been other than the time adjustment? All good?
Good. Good. Getting
Good.
busy. Yeah, real good. How about yourself?
Much better, feeling better, getting back to normal, mentally and physically, just still, fighting the time change thing, but that's
Yeah.
every year.
Yeah, it
Um,
takes me weeks.
been really crafty,
Yeah,
been,
I've seen that.
creating,
Yeah, that's
and
awesome.
that really helps. It really
I
gets
know.
you
It
out of those
does.
blahs.
I can't wait to
Um,
see what you create for me. with the
Yes,
balls.
I
Yeah.
love to create for you guys. That's what's so awesome is I get to create for people that I care about. So it's pretty awesome. Hello, Miss Elena. No, you did not
Hi.
miss us.
Yay.
Yay! I am glad that you made it. So yeah, I don't have any big announcements. I've got nothing. I've got nothing. I've got a box of crystal goodies that I'm unpacking. So tomorrow we will have
That's
lots
always
of
fun.
good fun stuff.
Yeah.
I've been posting all the goodies I've been creating, but yeah, I got nothing exciting. It's kind of calm around here.
Oh, not here. Just a few minutes ago, one of my spirits was singing that. I think it's called "Shallow" with Lady Gaga.
Hmm.
Yeah, weirdest thing. I'm sitting here, I'm thinking, is that shallow? And I know it's not my husband. He's not. He's watching. I can hear the TV, going in the bedroom, and I'm thinking that is so weird. I'm sitting here listening, and beautiful voice. I says, well, thanks. I
Yeah,
joined
that's
the
nice.
wellness one.
Well, I've been having weird dreams, you know
Oh
that.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, the
That's a
crazy
Starseed
dreams.
sign, actually.
Yeah, yeah, they're trying to tell me something. I'm just
Oh,
not this.
there's definitely a theme. Keep writing it down, keep paying attention.
Yeah, I have been. I've been writing it down, and eventually I'm going to put it all together. I've been trying to spend a little more time thinking about it, but it's crazy. It's kind of crazy. Dreams are. We'll have to do a show on dreams one of these days. I know
Yeah,
everybody
maybe
would like
next
us to
week we
do
could do
that.
that. Yeah, because you got to pick out a topic. We've kind of everyone's been. You need to pick out a topic and talk. Maybe
There's
that's definitely dreams. Everyone's always wondering, questioning dreams, and I know I
yeah, and
have
it's
these.
yeah. People are always asking me, and I'm like, well, let's Google it. You know.
Yeah. Well, I tell people, you're your best interpreter. I mean, they're not talking code. They really aren't. They're talking your language. So there are things that mean something to you. You just got to kind of figure it out, and dreams are always usually symbolism. They're usually never literal, but
Right.
if you can get like the general meaning, you can kind of try to figure stuff out and be like, oh, okay, and once you figure it out, the dreams will stop. But if they'll
Oh.
keep coming until and then just ask before you go to sleep. Say, hey, I need more than this. I need something a
Yeah.
little bit more.
Can we be a little bit clearer on
I'm
exactly
not
what's
getting.
going on here? Because I'm just obviously
Can I
after
call a
5
friend? It's
nights,
not
I'm not getting it.
right. Yeah, it's like a game show. Can I call a friend? I want to use my call a friend.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wouldn't that be fun? Let's have a metaphysical game show, you know?
that would be. Figure one out. I love games, so
That would be, yeah,
I'm
like
very
trivia. We love
competitive when it
trivia
comes to
games, you
games. Yeah,
know?
me too. I'm very good, and I'm very competitive.
Ooh,
My
sounds like a
husband and I.
challenge.
Oh yeah, I beat everybody. Jared and I, we get all these trivia games, and if we play with couples, we annihilate them pretty quickly. And then they don't want to play with us ever again. That's not fun, but
Well, well, you're that competitive. I don't know what is going on, but this candle on my hutch keeps moving
ooh,
closer to the edge, and
oh,
I have pushed it back at least 3 times in the last few days, and
somebody
it
doesn't want
keeps
it there.
inching back over to the edge.
Yeah, it doesn't.
So
They don't.
that like
They don't
the
want it
bottom of the
there. Right,
jar
you can
is
see it.
hanging over the
Make
edge
sure it
like
doesn't fall on you. That would be very bad.
but why is I mean I keep pushing it and it keeps moving. I
Yeah,
mean I've got it so that it's totally on the shelf, but again like this much of it has moved over so it's hanging over the edge and I'm like
maybe you've got a mischievous little fairy who's trying to play prank.
somebody's messing around up there.
Yeah, definitely. You have to keep.
Hello, Lynn. How are you? Welcome. Welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Hello. Yes. Exciting topic today.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, Elena, I love trivia. We have
Oh
Harry
yeah.
Potter trivia, Scooby
Oh
Doo
yeah.
trivia, rock
Yeah.
trivia.
I have
And my son
trivia
is
on
super
Seinfeld.
competitive. He's super competitive, especially with Harry Potter and Scooby Doo.
Yeah, me too. Well, Harry Potter. I don't know how to do it Scooby Doo, but I would definitely try.
Oh, we love Scooby Doo. All right. So we are here tonight to talk about a very interesting topic.
Very interesting.
Um, Starseeds. I'm sure that you guys have heard of that, but you might not know exactly what that means. So I will let Katrina give you her explanation.
My explanation, yeah,
Yes, your
very long
explanation.
explanation. Well, the thing with star seeds, if you ever look up at the night sky and you're ever mesmerized by a bright planet or a cluster of stars, then it's probably your soul resonating with that. You know, it's saying, "Hey, I feel that I had a past life or even a future life as a star seed." Um, I mean, it's been estimated that there are literally over 10 billion galaxies, and there's over 100 billion stars in our own home galaxy, the Milky Way. Okay. And that's a billion trillion stars in our universe. And just imagine all of the billions of realms and planets that are hidden from view that we don't even know, you know. So it's very possible that there is many life forms all over around us, right? And when we die, we get to choose to reincarnate, and there's many options. And as traveling souls, we don't only just have this planet to choose from. There's actually many other planets and realms and galaxies we can actually go to. And Earth's one of those three-dimensional planets that has an equal balance of physical and angelic experiences. And that's what attracts these star seeds to us, because they're here to help us and they're also here to benefit from us. Um, and the idea of star seeds actually comes from the Akashic records. Um, and the Akashic records are they're the records that hold all the energetic imprints of everybody's thoughts, actions, passions, events, of every race, all over the whole thing, through all space and time. Um, so that's pretty cool, right? So a star seed is basically an advanced spiritual being from other planets, dimensions, and realms, and they all possess spiritual and scientific knowledge that date back thousands of years. Um, Star seeds are traveling souls, you know, from other planets who incarnate on Earth to inspire and to heal humans. Um, and they participate in the planet's evolution. And it's also very possible that star seeds are physical descendants of aliens, you know, from other worlds who traveled here to be our planet's lightworkers.
So to be clear, star seeds are not physical beings. They are they are spiritual beings that incarnate as humans
Yes.
in our physical world. But where
Yes.
they're from, they may not be
What do
physical
you mean?
beings. Okay.
Yeah. Where they're well, some of them are. We'll go over the types of star seeds. I have worked. Now, where you can find the Akashic records, you can meditate to because we all have it inside of us. The Akashic records. It's like a library, and I've been there. I've actually meditated, and I woke up. In this beautiful library, and I didn't realize anything until I thought, "Wait a minute, where am I?" And all of a sudden, I was back into my room. But it's a wonderful library. It's just filled with everything about you, and you can actually meditate on the Akashic records. YouTube has thousands of meditations you can listen to. They'll help you kind of channel. There's mediums that you can actually that do this. You know, that's all they do is they help you find your Akashic records. Um, or you can go to bed. Before you go to bed, just say, I like to pull out my Akashic records and I like to know about a past life. Or, you know, I did that a couple times when I asked, when's the first time I learned Reiki? And then I had this wonderful dream about I was 5 years old helping my mom deliver a baby, and it was like really primitive, you know, like my mom, there was a lady, and we were in a temple, and the lady was on the table. So it's really interesting. The Akashic records, that's a whole other subject we can talk about another time as well. But it's through the Akashic records that people were starting to learn about star seeds. But yeah, star seeds living on, and what star seeds are angels. It's anything celestial, aliens. You know, people call aliens. They're star seeds, and there are some here on Earth. There's some here on Earth that are human. They incarnated, you know, and they're remembering. Like some of you, some of us are star seeds. They may not even know it, or we do know it. Um, but then there are star seeds, that come and they're, they look normal, like people, but they're not, which we'll get into that too. But yeah, we'll get into that here in a little bit. We'll get into know how you know you're a star seed when we get into the types of star seeds. I'll go through each one. Karen can. We'll go through, and then you can kind of resonate what kind of resonates in with you. Um, but we'll get into that here in a bit. So, yeah. Any other questions or I don't want to, you know, um,
Are
do you want to
are
get into?
we having a moment?
You don't want to be like talking away at this.
Well, it's an interesting subject, and there's a lot of information. But it
Yeah.
was funny when I was doing some research, and I think that some of the articles that are written are the people are not really um, as knowledgeable about it as they pretend to be. And the biggest thing that I noticed when I was reading is they tried to attach physical attributes to the different types of star seeds as humans. And I don't think that that's accurate because you incarnate as a spiritual being. I don't think that that's going to impact, so like one of them, they said, oh, well, they have, they're usually tall and skinny and
Oh,
have
right,
like
right.
pointy noses, and I'm just
Right.
like,
Yeah.
well,
I have
that's
seen some strange looking people, and I'm thinking that that person's something.
right.
No, yeah, I have to agree that yeah, they come in all forms,
Right, right. I
but
don't think that
there's
the
just that look really,
right, right,
unless you get into like the reptilians or the felines, then they have the more characteristics of that. But as when they come here, they look totally human.
right. Oh
You would
yeah, there
notice.
they might have the characteristics, but they were
Yeah.
they were
Yeah.
they were applying them to humans as,
Right. Yeah,
if
I
you
think
are a
I
star
saw a
seed.
few of those things, and yeah, no, because just like us, we all come in different shapes and sizes, and
Right. That's
nothing's
what I was
ever
thinking. I was like, well, that's weird. Not
right.
everybody is gonna
No,
have those. And
no.
I think more maybe some of them or the personality or
Yeah,
soul
the
traits, but
personality traits will come through because yeah, your personality never changes. Doesn't matter how many times you incarnate. Your personality is yours. That's your character. That's never going to change. But
so if
yeah,
someone's an asshole, they're going to be an asshole
well, they're
forever.
going to be in exactly. It's true. If they're a dick, they're going to be a dick in the future. It doesn't matter who they are.
Every fucking life.
Because
That is really bad news for some people.
it is. That's what I think too. Because I've dealt with some real assholes when I do house blessings, and I'm like, this person's is a real asshole.
That is
Yeah,
hilarious.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's this thing too. You don't want to get stuck on, which we'll get into too. Labels. You don't want to get stuck on. Really do research. Like, don't just read one article. Read several, and then take what resonates. You're gonna feel what's right. Like Karen, she felt this isn't quite right. I don't resonate with this. I don't think this is true. And then it's not. And it's not saying it's not for someone. Someone else might believe that. That's fine because that's your beliefs, and that's how the world goes around, right? We're allowed to have, because who are we to judge? I know I'm not. So
We try not to. We really
right.
do.
We're not trying to get
Um,
into conspiracies either. That's another thing too. A lot of these different star seeds are involved in a lot of different conspiracies. And I tend to stay away from those kind of things because not everything's concrete. Not every reptilian's bad. Not every, and there are good star seeds and bad star, just like there's good humans and bad humans. That's just the way the universe works. Balance.
it is true.
It's very true. It's very true. Well, do you want to get into the types of star seeds? We can discuss each one.
Yes, I am ready to go.
All right. Well, the first star seed's called a Sirian star seeds, and these souls come from the planets Sirius A and Sirius B. Um, and the Sirius planets, as well as the Placidian planet we're going to talk about, these are the oldest of the star seeds. They were like the planets that were here the longest. Sirius A is actually the brightest star in our sky. It's this first star you usually see at night. Um, and its original habitat, ooh, its
Hi, Mary
original,
Kay.
hi, Mary Kay. Its original inhabitants come from Vega in the Lyra constellation. And they're very intuitive. They're very visual beings. They have the ability to see things others don't, spirits, auras, energy. Um, and Sirius B is a little smaller star, and it's home to water people like mer people. So, and these people are very emotional. They're very sensitive, very empathic. Um, let's see what else. Okay, and they have a very deep connection with Earth, and Earth energies. Um, and then, oh, also too, both these planets, most people are Native Americans. Native Americans are definitely, I feel, star seeds because of their knowledge and the way they are with nature. I see this, like I have a friend, and he's definitely a star seed. He's a Native American, and I see him, and it's like the things he knows, and the way he's just so, his energy is so calming, you know. Um, so that's kind of interesting there.
Yeah.
Um, the next type of star seed is called the Placidian. We kind of talked about the Pleiadians with
Mhm.
our show that we did not too long ago, and these star seeds come from Pleiades. I'm having issues. These words are so hard.
Words are tough.
Words are tough, and it's a star cluster known as the Seven Sisters. Um, Pleiadians are the record keepers of Earth. And they actually claim that the Earth is over 600 billion years old. And they're actually finding this out. They're finding our Earth's older than what we learned in school. I just saw recently they found a body in Africa that was like way older than so they're getting close to 600, so it's very possible, right? Um, and they exist within the fifth dimensional frequency. Um, that's the thing too. Our Earth is evolving. It's a 3D, three dimensional, but it's really starting to change into fifth dimensional, and that's why I think a lot of people are getting interested in star seeds because that's where star seeds begin. They go from fifth to 12th dimension, and we start any kind of star seed because I think a lot of us are star seeds. We have that integrated in us, and then we're
Mhm.
starting to wake up and then starting to feel that. And a little bit later, I'll go through the symptoms that you might be feeling, which dreams is one of those symptoms of having that awakening. What was that?
That was my dog.
Oh.
I hope we don't have another deer in the yard.
Oh
We had
no.
a deer in our yard, and I mean, I live in a suburb on a relatively populated place, and we have a privacy fenced yard, and I don't know how it got in, but it couldn't get out because the
Oh,
dog was out there,
I'm
and I
sorry.
shined my light out there, and it's you ever shine a light into a deer's eyes?
They
Like
go,
it was like, yeah, and it was just like if I hadn't known it was a deer, I would have thought it was a demon in my
right,
backyard.
yeah, their eyes
It was just like,
glow.
ah,
You can say, look right at you. It's like,
and they freeze and they just stare and
yes,
they have
just
these big green eyes, and you're like, oh my God, what
that's
is
what
that?
mine always do. Yeah. Yeah, it's so funny. Um, and the Pleiades are also very matriarchal in their society, and they really elevate women. Women rule them, and they're very family and children conscious. Um, and they behave much like us, but they're far more emotionally and spiritually evolved. They're very compassionate and loving, and always have a very gentle energy. They just want everyone to be happy. So aren't they sound like very nice star seeds?
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, yeah. Um, the next star seeds are called the Arcturian, and they come from Arcturus. It's the most advanced civilization in our galaxy. They're fifth dimensional beings, and they built a society that actually became a prototype for us for how we live on Earth. I know, kind of interesting, right? And they're very
Cool.
emotionally and mentally advanced. Um, and a lot of them are shamans or healers. Um, and just like all fifth through nine dimensional societies, they have the feeling of a very angelic realm. They feel very angel-like. And I've actually worked with some of these star seeds. I've seen them, you know, I work with the angels. A lot of these, you know, and very much the Arcturians I have seen, I have felt with me. They're very deep thinkers. The deep thinkers, they have a very strong personality. You know, they're like peacocks. They're very outgoing. They're very kind of take charge. They're not rude about it. It's a little different. They have very strong personalities. Is the best way I can describe them. And they have a lot of inner strength. You know, they're just confident. You know, and yeah, just a really, you know, nice, good energy with them. Any questions so far? Feel free to chime in.
It's interesting as you read through. It's like one. It's like, oh, I'm that. Oh, but I'm not that. Oh, I'm like that, but I'm not like that.
That's normal. That's what you pull, you know, because we're a mix of everything, you know, just like we're a mix. Because, you know, if you think about, like, you know, aliens would come down to Earth and take people, and people would say they got people pregnant, and, you know, and that's very much, you know, we probably, and there's a rumors, you know, that Jesus is a star seed. You know, Mary was abducted by some sort of star seed, and Jesus was implanted in her, and could totally see that, you know. So yeah, you know, but we'll get more into you'll figure out, you know, like I said, people like to put labels, like to figure out, I guess they feel comfortable knowing. But the thing is, I like to just, you know, you're a star seed. You don't really need to know the specifics of it, you know,
Hang on
just
a
know
second.
that, okay.
Carry on.
Okay. But you're just something greater, because we all feel it. We feel like we're part of something greater than ourselves. Okay. Well, let's keep going. All right. So the next group of star seeds, they're called the Andromedae. Um, and they're very loving and benevolent. They're telepathic. And they come from the Andromeda galaxy. And they're very beautiful. And they have one mission, and that is to bring peace and love to all the races, and to help those especially afflicted by the reptilians, which we'll get into in a little bit. They are very heart-centered, and they are very intellectually advanced, and they're masters in all categories of science. These are the science guys. We're starting to get into some real hardcore science. These other star seeds are more into spiritual healing, and these are science.
All right, so we know that's not me, because
That is not
science is
me
not my
either.
friend.
It's not me. It's not me either. But these are science people. They're very well balanced. Like I'm definitely right brained. Left brain's a science, you know. I'm definitely right brain, but they're well balanced. They have the perfect amount of left and right with them. They're freedom seekers, so they have to always be moving, always searching, right? So they're changing jobs a lot. Find themselves changing relationships, changing places where they live. They don't feel comfortable being in one place for too long. So if that's you, then you're probably a good chance that you've got some Andromedae in you.
Hey, Allie, you know what? I always said that when I was a kid. I always said that I didn't fit into my family. I'm totally different than them. I look different. My hair is different. Everything about me is different. And it's funny too, because
I'd wonder.
I I always used to think I was adopted, or that I'm like, I'm an alien. They just stuck me in this family. They adopted me. I don't belong here. And it's really funny, because the reason that got more concrete in my mind when I got older, my children look just like me. You look at my kids. I mean, people look at my daughter and they go, "Oh, that's your mom, isn't it?" They look at my son. "Oh, that's your son." We look a lot alike. We have the same mannerisms.
Yeah.
We're so much alike. You've met my daughter, you know.
Yeah. You guys have the
So
same voice. You guys have the same voice even.
and I'm like, okay, I looked like an alien next to my family. They all had dark hair. I had strawberry blonde hair when I was a kid. They all have black hair, you know.
Right,
So
right.
yeah, I definitely, you know, always
Absolutely.
felt like an alien.
Yeah, and it's very well possible, Allie. Starseeds can definitely could have, or there's also I was just recently taught this from one of my angels. If a starseed comes to you when you're pregnant, and inserts their light with your baby, then that baby will become a starseed too. So that may be what happened too. You know, they gave your baby a gift. They gave your baby the light, and that will make them a starseed. I've seen angels do that. So it's interesting. So absolutely, it's a good thing though. She, you know,
Yeah.
as long as she's, but it's she'll definitely need some teaching, so she knows where she fits in, and because star seeds feel as children, I've seen it, can get very distant because they don't feel like they belong, and they tend to kind of shelter themselves. Um, so I've seen that a lot, because that's what we're going to get into now. We're going to get into the indigo, the crystal, and the rainbow star seeds, which a lot of people have heard of these. Um, Now, these all possess very special abilities, supernatural. This is where the clairvoyance comes in. They're able to commune with spirits. They're able to see they can see prophecies and all that. The Indigos is probably more of me and Karen, or me and Mystik Rayne's generation. And they're infused with the power of Archangel Michael. And they can be very stubborn at times, especially with their intolerance of unfairness. I've seen a lot of people get stuck, and I think, oh, you're definitely an indigo. Indigos are a little different, and they'll tell you, they know when they're an indigo. The next group are called crystals, and they're infused with the light of Archangel Gabriel. And they tend to be more fair and kinder than indigos or rainbows. And rainbows are the newest wave of young kids new people. Usually these are all pretty young children, and oftentimes they are diagnosed with some form of autism, which is very interesting. Rainbow children, they are here to heal us, actually, teach us, because they have this natural detachment from the physical world. And they interact with things differently, and they actually use a lot of spiritual exercises. So if you have any autistic children, learn about some spiritual exercises and see how they gravitate towards that. You'd be surprised.
Oh, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there you go. So she's probably a rainbow. Yeah. Yeah, well, she is an amazing girl. Absolutely, absolutely. She's definitely a rainbow. I have my niece has autism, so I can, and she's, I saw right away, like, she's definitely a rainbow. And they're here as healers, believe it or not, but yeah, definitely research, look up rainbow children, star seeds, and it'll just blow your mind, and you'll be able to really be able to find ways to communicate with her and help her. And again, you relationship will grow, and then she'll grow too. So
Now I'm confused. I was reading, because I'm just learning about all this too. I was reading one article that said something to the effect that indigos are the human children of starseeds. Is that true, or are they just a different type of starseed?
it can be, they can, yeah, well, all these star seeds, we could be children of, almost like, it's definitely in the same realm. Like I said in the beginning, you can either be born a star seed, you can either be incarnated star seed, or you're an actual star seed. You know what I mean? Like
Gotcha.
from there, because there's star seeds from there walking around looking human, and then we can come back as star seeds, and then so, but yeah, so I think either of those. Because I think these children, especially now, the rainbows, I think they're born here. They're star seeds. They're full star seeds. They're born.
Right.
That's why they have. I think autism to me is just something that fascinates me, because I just don't look at it as a disease so much, or a mental problem, or however. I look at it like that's an ability. That's something that we just as humans aren't used to. You know what I mean? It's kind of hard to explain, I guess.
No, I get what you're saying, that maybe the reason that they don't speak, maybe the reason that they don't speak is because, they have the ability to speak without it, but we don't get it because we don't.
Right. We're humans.
Is definitely a possibility.
Absolutely. We're not hearing them. Yeah. And they might not know how, so
Right.
yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Yeah, that's how I feel. I feel it's an ability. I feel that they're here to teach us um, how to be better humans. Absolutely. Yeah.
And the world just isn't ready for it. They're getting
No,
there,
they are getting there. They are
We are
learning
getting
more.
there.
Yeah, because there's so many. They're finding out
Hmm.
now. So absolutely. All right. So the next group of star seeds are called the Lightworkers. And that's probably what generally a lot of us are. We consider ourselves light workers, but it's actually a type of star seed. They're very special souls from a variety of planets and realms. This is probably where you might fit in, Mystic Rayne. They they've all agreed to reincarnate. So light workers reincarnated on Earth. Okay, and they come from all different places all over the galaxies to help Earth evolve and to raise consciousness. And that's their main purpose. Is to bring kindness and goodness and love to everyone we meet. Lift them up. They work solely for the light. There's no allegiances to any a group. Some star seeds will have an allegiance to certain groups or certain commitments, but light workers work solely for the light.
Like
Interesting.
you.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. And then the next group, they're called the Orions. Okay. And they ask questions. They're the question askers. If you've ever been around a kid, I've been around these kids that ask a million questions. What is this? What is that? Why can't I do this? And that's what these do. They ask questions about everything. They're question askers. They want detail. Okay. They're very obsessed with science and research. And sadly, Orions, they lack an understanding of their hearts. And I have friends like this that are very science, but they have issues connecting with their heart,
Hmm.
compassion a little bit, empathy. And their mission is to help us to understand science and its value. And they learn from us. Actually, some star seeds actually benefit from us, and they actually learn from us how to be more trusting and how to be more faithful. Not, like I said, not all star seeds are benign and good. There are some that are here to control us. There are some here that are trying to take over, and there's some races known as, people have heard about them. I've known, like the reptilians, and the which we'll get into here. I guess why we get into it now. The reptilians, the dragoconians, and the saurians. And these are the shapeshifters, okay? Also known as lizard people. Have you ever watched the movie V? That's what I thought of. When I heard about reptilians, I thought of V. Remember movie V?
I always think of Land of the Lost.
Oh, that's who it's the Slee Stacks.
The Sleestacks, yes. That's exactly what I think of.
Yeah.
Or what was that movie with Lou? What was that movie with Lou Gossett Jr.
Right?
where the spaceship crashed? It had Lou Gossett Jr. and what the heck was that guy's name? It came out in like the late 70s, early 80s. And I can't remember the name of it, but Lou Gossett Jr. was like a reptilian alien. You are frozen, but it's a cute picture. You're laughing. Amethyst.
And anything to do with into any fear to control. Now they're actually, yes.
Stop.
Am I back?
You're back. You're back.
Is everything okay? Okay. I'm not sure what was going on. I was like froze, and then it went black, and I kept going just in case people.
No, I couldn't hear you. I don't know if anybody else could, but I didn't hear anything other than the sleep when we were talking about Sleestacks.
Right,
and then
Sleestacks.
After everything was gone after that.
Right. Well, I'll start over just in case.
Okay.
Okay. So they're shapeshifters, and they seek to control humans. They like power, so they usually gravitate towards politics. Place seats in that general, so they can really put out fear. That's how they control humans, with fear. And not all, like I said, reptilians are bad. There are some here that are here to help raise consciousness, but they're chameleons. They blend in very well. So, you know, they're usually great leaders, are very adaptable, and they love the sun. So if you know anybody who loves the sun, like Sundays and just can't get in like a lizard. Okay, yeah, Lynn said she
Oh my
couldn't
God,
hear
I
it.
have a friend from high school like that.
I like the sun, but I'm like, oh, I'm not a reptilian. I don't think so.
I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
No, but I like, you know, there's a lot of rumors like the queens are reptilian. There's all these things you hear, and it's just, you know, but yeah, that's, you know, I threw it out there because it's definitely mentioned a lot, the star seeds, and it's getting more and more talked about, especially with aliens. Am I
They
free?
must not like you talking about them because they keep freezing you. You are frozen again, and I cannot hear you. Okay, you're back. Maybe. No, you're not back. You're still frozen. Somebody's messing with your internet, girlfriend.
I keep freezing. There
Well,
I
now
am.
we can see you, but we. Okay, you're good. You're good.
Am I good? Okay. I asked my angels too to help with help with this, and I don't know why they're not helping.
I don't know. Come on, guys, help us out here.
I know, because I had a feeling. Because yes, they probably don't want it talked about. So we'll go to the next group. It's the felines. Those are the lyras. I can't even the lyras. Lyrans, thank you. For some reason I can't. And I've actually worked with. It was pure blue. She looked like a lion, but she was pure blue. I've actually worked with these, and they come from very high dimensions, like the 12th, 13th dimension, and they come from the Lyra constellation, and they can actually be found depicted in artwork, and most notably Egypt.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of things with a cat head, and I think it's where the set comes from. Is from these guys. They are very psychic and telepathic. They talk through. They don't ever talk with their lips. It's always their minds. And they have very high spiritual skills, and they're always seeking the light and clarity and abundance, and they bring grace to us, and they do a lot for Earth that we don't know. Like these recent downloads everyone's getting, it's from them. That's like the ring in the ears you'll get, not being able to sleep
so much.
Yeah, it's from them. It's from them. They're helping raise our consciousness. They're helping us. They're very helpful beings, I should say. But they're inspiring us. They're bringing in the creativity, which is so important right now. And they're very interested in astronomy and science fiction. So if you're really drawn to cats, if you're curious like a cat, you know, if you have any cat like qualities, if you're very drawn to science fiction stuff, astronomy, all that, then you're probably a Lyra. And also too, they found the Lumer, I can't say this, Lemurian civilization.
Lemurians?
Lemurians, yeah. Lemurians, yeah. They actually founded that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that's really cool. So, but yeah, they're my favorite beings to work with because they are really. It's just awesome. It's just so cool. When I didn't know. I just thought it was. I didn't know what the hell it was. I didn't. Years later, a friend of mine was talking about them, and I was like, I have seen that.
I have seen them.
I have seen them. That's what they are. Hi, Trisha.
Hey, how's it going? And you're frozen. Ed? All right. Amethyst is frozen again. Apparently, she is too knowledgeable of the Starseeds, and somebody does not want that information getting out because we cannot hear her. And she's frozen again. You're lucky that you're so cute, because when you freeze, you always have like this cute look on your face. When I freeze, it's like usually my eyes are closed and my mouth is wide open.
A weird position. I can get that. Am I back on?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, you're back. You're back.
All right.
Yes.
Thank God. Well, we're gonna get right into um, we're going to talk about common starseed symptoms, things you might be experiencing that you're waking up to your starseed. Okay. And these are things like feeling like a pressure cooker. You feel like you're going to explode. You feel very energetic. You feel um, like something wants to come to the surface. You might be healing something, that kind of stuff, you might feel a feeling of disorientation. You're feeling lost. You're out of place. Um, you're having strange aches and pains in your body. You're not sure why you're having these headaches. Are very common to have when you're starting to activate that star seed. Waking up between 2 and 4 a.m. all the time. Um, Having really weird dreams. There you go. Sensitive to surroundings, crowds, noise, TV, get overwhelmed easy. Feeling drained, and you just can't tolerate low vibrational energy. These are all symptoms of you're activating the star seed. Okay, so some personality traits of star seeds. Now, having a profound feeling of being different from everyone else, especially feeling at a very young age. And I know I did. We all knew we were different, right? and not having any reason for it. There's no trauma or anything that's making you feel different. And that's usually others will see you as being weird or eccentric. That's usually a personality trait of a star seed. Another personality trait of star seeds is being very extremely sensitive and to have psychic abilities. And you're very empathetic. Animals and babies are drawn to you. Now, I know when I go into like a grocery store and there's a baby, that baby is staring at me and smiling. Yeah. Yeah. Also, feeling alienated by others. You feel like you don't have any friends. No one likes you. You feel like there's always something going on. You don't feel connected with people. Your mind's always buzzing with thoughts. Your mind's always going with different ideas, inspirations, creativities all the time.
Yep.
Anxieties are actually a sign too of the of starseed trait. You enjoy watching people, and I used to go to the mall and just to sit there and just watch. And I like to
People
read.
watching is a sport.
Yeah, it is a sport, and that's a trait of a starseed. You don't have much common with other people around you. Yes, animals can definitely be star seeds. Obviously, because felines, they're an animal. They're a being. Absolutely, animals can be star seeds. Why not? Right?
Oh, then Sirius Black is definitely a star
Well,
seed.
that's sometimes I wonder about my like Loki. I think he's not quite. I can't quite figure him out.
Yeah, my others are not at all. No way. But
Yeah,
Sirius
Alice
Black,
is
I mean,
definitely a
when
dog.
Sirius Black looks at you, he stares right into your
Your
soul.
soul, yeah, and they know something. They like
Yes.
they know.
And he'll give it like he'll be like, "Hey, how's it going?" And he'll give you the head nod. I mean,
Yeah. What's up?
he is a trip. I would call him a starseed all day long.
Yeah,
And it's funny too because my son he's not an animal not liker, but he's not one of those people that's really an animal lover. And he especially doesn't like cats. But Sirius Black is his boy. That's his dude. And I mean,
maybe
they communicate. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, your son Nikki is probably a starseed. Yeah, animals. Yeah, I'm seeing with animals too. Yeah, one time when we were kids, he had a neighborhood bully try to stick his dog on me, and his dog wouldn't attack me. Then he blamed me for ruining his dog. I didn't do anything, but the dog just knew not to do that. We were connected there. Some other traits would be you're always seeing the numbers 1111 or any other numbers kind of all the time, but they're the same. That's a trait too. And then you also, if you had any kind of experience with a UFO, I know I have several incidences I've had with UFOs and stuff. Well, Karen was with me. We had experience with several UFOs.
And I grew up on a farm, and we had instances with them when I was a kid. So absolutely, my whole life.
Oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And there's also some physical symptoms we can get as star seeds, such as extreme sensitivity to hot or cold. Usually, a lot of star seeds are always cold. I used to be that way, and then I got kind of gained weight. Now I'm always hot. But
See, I'm always hot. I've always been able to handle the cold. It's the heat. I
yeah,
I get physically ill from
yeah,
heat.
me too. I sweat all the
Yeah,
time.
oh, sweat
Ridiculous.
like a man.
Yeah, yeah, me too. I know. I got the fan on. Jared's like, "Why got the fan on? It's freezing in here," and I'm just like, "It's so hot." Um, and also too, you have a high tolerance of pain. Is a good physical symptom or trait of a star
Hmm.
seed. High immunity. You hardly ever get sick.
Yep.
You
I
know.
rarely, if ever, get sick.
Yeah, yeah. People around me are puking and gagging, and I'm like, fine. You have a strong body. Never broke a bone. I've never broken a bone in my body
I have
ever.
never broken a bone either, and I have been thrown from horses, stepped on, run over, squished between a horse's body and the wall. I have
Yeah,
never broken a bone.
yeah.
Never.
There you go. See. So now it's starting to make sense to you a
It
little bit.
is.
Yeah.
That is so interesting.
Yeah, and also till you heal quickly. And I know I did. My doctor's always impressed on how quickly I cool. Um, yeah, Linda's always cold. Linda comes here and she's got a coat. It's like 80 degrees, and so Linda's cold all the
Oh,
time.
I literally last night had the window open and my feet have to be out from under the covers. If the rest of
Yeah,
me is
no, I
covered,
can't. I'm hot.
my feet
Yeah.
have to be out.
Yeah.
And the only reason I have a cover half the time is just because it's just this thing where I'd rather just have a sheet. I need to feel covered, but
Right.
at least I still have to have at least 1 foot out
Yeah. I'm
because
the
I
same
get too
way.
hot. I can't do it.
Or one leg. Yeah, I'm the
Yeah.
same way. I'm
Yep.
right with you. Right with you. Yep. Also, too, you bruise very easily. And
Hmm.
I do bruise easy. I wake up with
Yep.
bruises all the time, and I don't know why.
I'm always like, how did that happen?
Yeah, I know I have a big bruise on my leg. I think I would remember if I hit
Yeah,
that.
but you
It's
don't. You're like,
huge.
when did that
No,
happen?
no, yeah, that's the thing. It's a star seed trait. Another one is if you have a prominent birthmark or mole somewhere
Yes,
located on your body. And there's a
right
whole
here.
thing too.
I got a big one right there. Big mole.
And there's a whole thing too about where they're located. It can tell you which star seed. But like I
Oh,
said, I don't.
really?
Yeah, yeah. But I don't get into all that because, like I said, I think a lot of it's suggestion. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
but I know it's not a huge, probably about that big, but on my back, I have a birthmark. It was like a bat, actually.
Cool.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. Um, Also, uh, star seeds tend to hate bright lights. They prefer real light over fake light. It's
Hmm.
like I hate walking to Walmart. I always feel like I'm under
I
like a
cannot. I
green
hate
house.
Walmart. I can't go in there. Can't do
Yeah,
it.
no. My house is always dark too. I don't like the artificial light. I do like
Yeah.
natural light better. Also, you have
Ambient
an
light.
affinity, yeah. And also star seeds have an affinity with nature, which I love my trees and
Yep.
I love being out with the birds. And also too, they tend to love trees, and willows are definitely something. It's like our favorite tree
That
with
is
all
my tree. I
sorts.
love weeping
Yeah,
willows. It is
there you
my
go.
tree. When I do my grounding visualization that I
Mhm.
teach people, I actually it's a willow tree
Yeah,
that is part of my visualization.
yeah. See, I knew once we get into the traits and stuff, you would resonate better with
Hmm.
that. Yeah, there you go, Nikki. That's definitely yeah. And you can look it up. You can look up birthmarks for star seeds. Google it, and I'm sure you'll find somewhere where they can tell you exactly where it's at, what star seed you probably originate from. It's amazing you find on the internet. Um,
Love the internet. Internet is your friend.
it can be, but do research. Check several different ones. They all
Oh yeah,
really
don't read one and go, "Oh my God, that's what it
right.
is."
Now,
It's
read
not because
several. Go through several.
um
Pick out what resonate, what feels
yeah,
right. Yeah. Also, too, acute hearing. You always hear ringing in the ears. You can hear things other people can't. That's a sign, which I know
yeah,
you
well,
do.
or the voices.
Or the voices,
The
right?
music, the singing. I hear
Right.
music that is not there all the time. I'm like,
Yeah. Oh man, just a second ago, I did. I
yeah.
heard somebody singing. Wasn't real. Was loud enough for me to like know the song. Um, Also, too, starseeds tend to have lighter colored hair. And if it's not light, they usually have some sort of red tint in their hair, which is I thought was interesting. Um, they usually have unusual eye color as well.
That's funny. I had strawberry blonde hair as a kid.
There you go. Yeah, there you go. And also, too, they're sensitive to alcohol and drugs. And I know I'm a lightweight. I drink 2 beers and I am plowed. I should say plow, but I'm pretty drunk. I try to keep my down. I try not to drink too much because it doesn't take me much. And I know like medications, so I gotta be really careful with. Even like NyQuil. If I drink NyQuil, I get very loopy.
Oh, I drink NyQuil and I pass out.
Yeah.
Um, Pain medication, anything narcotic.
Oh, I get sick.
I pass out and then I get violently ill.
Yeah, I get
I
sick with
I
any
can't
kind of pain.
do any sort of like Vicodin because I remember I threw my I twisted my pelvis and pinched a
Oh,
nerve and I was sideways
oh,
for a while. It was really bad. And so my husband was like, "Hey, I'm going to give you one of my pain pills." And I took a half of Vicodin. I passed out for like 6 hours and I woke up and I just puked for another 6 hours. It was like
oh,
this was not a good idea and I've never touched it since. And that
no,
was I was in my 30s, you know,
right,
when that happened. I just never have been able to to tolerate anything like that.
right. No, me either. I'm the same way. I take a Benadryl and it knocks me out for like 8 hours.
Yeah,
Yeah, Allie, that's another such definitely a sign of a star seed, especially when you all have it. You probably all come from a lineage of star seeds.
yeah,
Um, and here's some ways too you can activate your star seed power. You can start kind of rejecting old programming. Start going through your beliefs. What isn't serving you, get rid of. Don't keep. Let yourself. Think new thoughts, allow new things to come in. And you can always and activate the light, that starseed light in you, by healing yourself. Do some self-love stuff, shadow work. We definitely need to start healing. um, Find your purpose in life. We all have a purpose, and you find that purpose when you're very passionate, you love something. It doesn't have to be anything profound. Everyone thinks a purpose is something that's huge. It's no. Whatever excites you, whatever your passion, whatever your heart wants to do, follow that. Um, and just being in service, being a service of light and love and truth to people around you, and really start, that's what star seeds are here for. They're here to help, encourage, and support one another, lift each other up. And it starts with one person, because when you help one person, then that person helps a person, and then that person helps a person. Before you know it, the whole world is helping each other. It's beautiful. Um, but yeah, I just want to make sure too that you're really careful with labels. And I know people know me, I hate labels.
right.
Because when you place a label on yourself, you're limiting yourself, because labels are temporary, and they're only partly true. Um, so each of these temporary self identities, they have limitations. So just try not to hold on so tightly to them, okay? Because you're all beautiful, powerful, vibrant souls, and you have unlimited potential in any direction you choose to go in. So,
That is
you
true.
know, exactly.
But
That's what we're
go
here to do.
go there he is, the man
Oh,
of the hour.
yeah.
Come on.
He's definitely a Lyra.
Oh yeah. This boy.
Yeah.
Look at
Look
that
at,
boy.
what's he got in his mouth, or is that his tongue?
That's his
Oh,
tongue. That's his tongue.
I
Yeah,
love
he
his
flicks his tongue a
whiskers.
lot.
No,
he's like
he looks like, I'm telling you, the one I saw looked just like him, only blue. But
yeah.
exactly.
Yeah,
I'm
look
not
at that regal face. Look at that boy.
no, seriously, no,
Yep.
really.
Yep. Hi baby. Um yeah, I want to go back for a second to what you were saying
Okay.
about activating because
Okay, yeah.
literally I would say that how long have I known you?
Oh, geez. I'd say a couple
A year?
years.
No,
I
it hasn't been that long.
I
I
think it
don't think it's
has
been
been. I
really.
don't know.
All right, well, let's just say 2 years ago.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
when I started with you know who.
Right. Well, that's where I met
um,
you.
That
Which
was
we thank him
his,
very much for that.
we'd have to thank him very much for that because that put me on the path.
It did put you on the
Um,
path.
and it's really
You're in a much
sad
better
that we
place.
can't share that with him anymore, but he
I
did put
know.
me on that path, and I
Mhm.
was able to find my purpose, which was doing exactly this, lifting
Mhm.
people up, teaching,
Mhm.
um, discovering my own abilities, and it all happened just like, oh, and I exactly the way you said, you know,
Mhm.
I found my purpose and my abilities started, and it just it snowballed, you know, and the awakening has been going on for, I would say, what do you think, 6 months maybe?
At least. Yeah, I think more. Time
And yeah,
flies. It's unbelievable how quick time flies.
yeah, I know. But oh, thank you, Lynn. He is a handsome boy. That's a handsome boy.
He
Um,
is.
but it is, let it happen, you know. And it's not going to happen all at once. It's like everything
No.
else. It's going to continue, and you don't advance until you're ready. And um, it just keeps going, and it's amazing. It is amazing, that
Well, it's,
awakening, you know, and suddenly knowing I fit in. I do
yeah.
fit in. I have a reason. This is why I have suffered my whole life, so that I could get to this point where I realize my purpose.
Yep.
And part of it
Exactly.
is loving this cat. He's like, don't
And loving
squeeze me
our
so hard,
viewers.
mommy.
Yeah, yeah, it's like yeah, that cartoon Looney Tunes. That what her name is Myra. Mira. She would squeeze them. Their eyes would go. Ner, ner. They'd run from her. She's like, oh,
Oh,
does
the
anyone
Pepe
have
Le
any
Pew.
questions? Oh yeah, Peppy. Yeah, Peppy. I love Peppy. Yeah, they took him off.
Yeah, because he's offensive.
Yeah,
Help us, somebody.
he was on TV for what 50 years before they realized that.
Yeah, yeah, he's a politically incorrect skunk. Who knew?
Yeah, yeah. Who knew? I just thought he was just looking for love.
Yeah, he's lonely. He was just looking for love.
Mm. Yeah, does anyone have any questions?
Yes,
Or
any
anything?
questions? Because we are over time as usual.
Oh, geez, we are. Yeah. Well, it's a good subject. I mean, because it definitely can go. Because there's a few more star seeds, but I went over the most common.
Yeah, we could go on. It could go on. There's a lot of other categories, but you know, if you guys think of any questions later, you know, feel free to reach out. Do your research though. Like she said, you
Absolutely,
know,
that's
Google
what
is your
we
friend.
encourage.
Yeah,
Mhm.
buy a book. You
Broaden
know,
your minds.
and a lot of times if you go online and you find someone, you know, or an article written by someone that resonates with you, sometimes they've written a book. So, you know, then
Yes,
you can get the book so you don't get stuck with a book and you're like, why did I buy this? This is trash.
right. Yeah.
Um, so yeah, you get to know, you know,
Love you. Did you make that appointment?
no,
Yeah, absolutely. It's just, she does know, but she can't tell you. I think she would tell you if she could, because she's probably not allowed. But absolutely, you're very, very, very lucky to have her for sure. And
yeah.
I
And you know what, Allie, I mean, you keep, you know, learning and working on your abilities, and there's going to come a time when you're going to be able to, you know, ow, claws. Lynn has another question.
okay.
I have questions. I just don't know what they are yet.
Oh,
Absolutely. Absolutely. We all have questions, and they'll
yeah.
come to
There's
you
a lot.
5 minutes after we
Right.
go
Like,
off the
oh,
air.
yeah. But you can always, comment or ask, the groups or text one of us, we can help answer you or steer you in the right direction. Like I said, star seeds are something I know a little bit about. I'm familiar with, quite a bit, but there's stuff I probably don't know. I'm sure there's lots of stuff I don't
Serious.
know,
Well, we don't know everything, I mean, there's just no way we can, but we do the best we can.
Yeah, absolutely. It's an interesting subject. Very, very interesting.
It is. It absolutely is.
Anytime
And
I watch a UFO show, and I'm just like, they're always talking about certain aliens and stuff, and I'm just like, no, that's angels, or no, those are Lemurians. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah. So,
well, people like to label things they don't understand, and most of the time they label things they don't understand as dangerous, evil, bad. Everything's a demon. It's the deer in the backyard. It's a demon.
Yeah, they fear what they don't
deer.
know. yeah.
It's a fucking deer, man.
Deer is just like, right. It's probably thinking you're a demon. It's like one-eyed.
Oh, probably. Demon. It's like, oh my God, you're shining that bright light at me, you demon.
Yeah, that's probably what it's like. The power of Christ compels you. It's probably saying that to you.
Oh my goodness. We are just crazy. And please don't knock over my light. Oh my gosh. I have animals surrounding me in every direction. And I'm not sure why.
It's a starseed trait.
Yeah, they are they are all around me. But we will excuse me, we will be calling it a night. Like I said, if anybody has any questions, thank you so much for all of your research and information.
Yeah, thanks for
you have so much information. It's wonderful when we can share with other people, and I learned quite a bit, and I'm going to do more research. I want to learn some more.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I want to do, is broaden your minds, make you realize, hey, there's more out there than I think. This is interesting. I want to look it up. Yeah, like you said, there's books. Amazon's a wonderful place for books.
Oh, Amazon's at my house a lot.
Yeah,
I love books.
Right?
I love books.
Yeah, right. And there's a lot of great books out there, great authors, and there's a lot of great information about starseeds, because angels are in that bunch, and that's who I work with, and that's where I learned about starseeds, is from them. So
yep.
But yeah, you have a good night too, Allie. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Is there another show on starseeds? You know what? Maybe we'll do another show on starseeds after in the near future. We'll see what happens.
We could. Yeah, I might get more information and stuff.
Yeah, I'm going to do some research, and if I come up with some cool stuff,
yeah, Karen will be like, "Hey, we'll do an." I'm like, "All right."
Yeah, I mean, we're down for anything. If you guys have ideas of
even exactly
yeah, if you guys have ideas of shows, we're always like, we're sitting there sometimes on Saturday night going, what are we going to talk about this week?
I'll be texting her, what do we want to talk about?
Yeah, so if you guys have things that you're really interested in, even if it's something we've already covered, we can do it again. I mean, like, I was going to do I think we should do a show on manifesting.
Okay.
I think we should do a show again on grounding and shielding. I know a lot of people have issues with that. So whatever you guys want, you can drop, this is going to be posted on the page when we're done. So you can drop a comment there, or you can message either one of us and give us ideas of what you're interested in, because we're here for you. We're here
exactly. Yeah.
We're not here for ourselves. We're here for you guys. So definitely let us know what you want to learn, what you want to
share knowledge. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't let us pick up the boring topics you don't want to learn or know.
Exactly.
Interesting, but.
All right. Now my dog is getting tangled up in my cords.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So I'm going to have to, there's a wiener dog in the cords. We got to get out of here. So thank you all for hanging out with us tonight. You have a great night. I will wait to end. Oh, there you are. You're back. Thank you for hanging out. So you are just freezing. Oh my goodness. So let's say goodnight, everybody. We will see you next time. Love you.